John Cena sat down with Chris Van Vliet on the Insight podcast this week, talking about his movie career mostly. It was on the set of Stinky's fucking what was it? Ricky Stenicki was it? Ricky Stenicki was on the set of. How am I supposed to remember Ricky Stenicki? That's a movie Cena's got coming out. Anyway, he was gracious enough to sit down with Chris Van Vliet while on the set or while doing media or some shit anyway. And was able to give Chris Van Vliet a good hour of his time, an hour plus, talking about his Hollywood career, talking about his past wrestling moments and that sort of thing. But it was in this particular clip here where Chris Van Vliet asked him which of his favorite 16 title reigns was his favorite, or which of his 16 title reigns was his favorite. And the answer was a little bit surprising and gave us maybe a little hope for the future. Check out this clip.
When we look at 16 championship wins, do you have a favorite in there?
My next one?
Your next one's a record-breaking one, then.
That would be cool.
Wait, there's going to be another one?
I have often said that that the time is coming for me to hang him up, and I'm not lying when I say that, but it's not tomorrow. It's probably soon, but it's not tomorrow, so you never know.
At this point, I would be surprised if John Cena were to actually win a world title. But, you know, for the sake of breaking Ric Flair's record, maybe he should. I wouldn't do it with the WWE Championship. I wouldn't do it with Roman's belt, the belt. Come on. But Seth Rollins' world title is technically a world championship. And, Cena's 16 world title reigns do include both the WWE and world heavyweight titles. So he could take that title for even a day, win it for a day, drop it the night, win it at a pay-per-view, drop it at Raw, win it at Raw, drop it at the pay-per-view, whatever, make one single moment out of it to give him that number 17. And that's it. That's all you need. But I'd be surprised if he gets there. I think we've seen the last of John Cena in championship matches, but maybe not. Depends how much more gas he's got left in the tank and really how long he's able to stick around. If he's just popping in for a shot or two, it's not really going to be worth doing that. But if he's able to stick around for like a month to work a brief storyline with somebody, that could be cool. Could be something worth looking into. Look, Drew McIntyre has been killing it lately with his promos. He could beat Seth at Mania. And then, somewhere along the way, John Cena. It could happen at a Backlash. At Backlash, John Cena comes in and has he's cutting his little promo or whatever. Drew McIntyre comes out and laughs at him and tells him he's washed up and whatever. They have a little match maybe that night. I'll do it tonight. You want to do it tonight? If you're so confident, let's do it tonight. Drew accepts stupidly. Gets beat 1, 2, 3 by John Cena. They have the rematch at the pay-per-view, main event, whatever. Cena loses. LOL. Drew picks up the win and moves on with his life. Cena gets the 17, something like that. Doesn't have to be exactly that, but you get the point. Very well could work out. There could be a way to do that, but it would be strange. I think Cena's past that now. Cena seems more than happy just kind of putting over the younger guys, just kind of being part of the show, contributing. By the sounds of it, he will be a part of WrestleMania this year in some capacity, but that has not been revealed as of yet. But he says he wants to do something fun, most likely. He likes being he talked about in this interview having to be like the headliner and going on after DX, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels were out just kind of goofing around and having fun and laughing and stuff with the audience at a house show. And that Cena's like, man, I wish I could go out there and have that fun. Now he's at that stage where he can go out and have that kind of fun. And he's not responsible for carrying the entire card. So, one of the other fun things that Cena got into with Chris was talking about the potential heel turn. He said he was this close to turning heel back with Cena Rock 1. Right? He said Cena Rock 1. Check out this clip.
How close were you to turning heel?
Real close.
Around what time period?
Cena Rock 1.
Oh.
I got word that they were going to do it. I went out and recorded a new song. I went out and got all new gear. I wasn't prepared for Ruthless Aggression. That was the last time I wasn't prepared. And I mean, I heard rumblings of, we're going to do it. And in 48 hours, I had a new track, a new studio mix, theme song, final mix. I had 7 new singlets, low-cut singlets with boxing-type robes. I already had the boots in storage, so I dusted them off. I was ready to go. And already thinking about what I could do with the story. Okay, what is a heel? A heel is not just new gear. The objectivity or the message behind the singlet and the boxing robes and the boots is its exact opposite of what you saw with the street gear. The jean shorts, the t-shirt, the ball cap, the sneakers. No, go the opposite route. And now lean into the opposite of everything you stand for. So I would begin to not work as hard. I would show up less. I would be untrustworthy, unloyal. I would lack respect in what I did. All you have to do is turn that on I would give up a lot. All those things you can take and make interesting stories. And this is the stuff that's running through my head, not what moves can I do. It's how can I take the intellectual property that people are familiar with and twist it? So it's this guy's insane. It's everything I've come to love, and now I genuinely hate it. And in being a real bad guy, and I think that was the conversation that was eventually had, where it's okay, it's a bad idea. I'm hey, I know this is going to sting, but I'm not going to sell another t-shirt. I'm going to take all merchandise off the market. I'm not going to put out anything new. I'm not going to do any more appearances. I'm not going to do any make-a-wishes. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm going to be a bad guy to make you a good guy, so you're a good guy does all that.
Yeah.
And that's when I was we're kind of in too deep. So it worked out the way it worked out. But bro, I was ready.
I could see the excitement as you're describing this. How good was the theme song?
I recorded it with saxophones instead of trumpets. It's called Fear My Name. I still have it locked away somewhere. If it ever sees the light of day, I want to remix it with trumpets instead of saxophones. But it has the hit of Time Is Now.
Imagine a world where The Rock's a heel now. Imagine a world where The Rock and John Cena are a heel at the same time.
So the weird thing is that's supposed to happen. If you think of the course of human life, no one is perfect, right? And it's very tough each day to wake up and live a good life. It's tough to be mistake-free. So that's human trajectory. We all go through patches where we make decisions against our value system. We all turn heel at one point. It's just a matter of if you see the light. And I think that's what makes a lot of the characters redeemable, is if you take a really good guy and then have them lose their way. It's Darth Vader in Star Wars, but you want to root for him because you don't give up on that guy. I know there's good in him. That's beautiful. Those stories are beautiful.
I just want to hear the theme music. That's what I want to know. That banger exists somewhere on somebody's fucking MP3 player, right? Cena's got it in his old fucking iPod somewhere. He's got a playlist on Spotify that's got that theme song somewhere. It exists. I hope it sees the light of day. He said he's still hanging on to it just in case he needs to dust it off, just in case for some reason at the very twilight of his career he decides he wants to turn heel. He probably could if he was going to have a run. If Cena was going to be around for 2 years, you could do a heel turn with him and have him be a really nasty top heel. And as a nasty top heel, he wouldn't be required to do a whole lot but talk and then just get his ass beat in matches. I think that could be the best way if you were going to still do a heel turn for Cena. Look, Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan. Of course, he was much younger at the time. Maybe not. I don't know. Well, how old is Cena here? For some reason I want to think of him almost in his 50s. He's not that old. He's in his 40s. So around the same time Hogan turned heel. Hogan had a whole second run. You know, he had his first life as a babyface, his second life in the business as a heel. Hollywood Hogan was born. That was it. Cena could have that run. Could have had that run. Could have had a huge second run. I really wish we had it in his prime. I wish we would have seen, even at that time, would have been a good time for Cena to turn heel. But I get why he doesn't. He does the Make-A-Wish stuff. He does, you know, he's a children's favorite. And that's what worked for Hogan. But it also, at the time, well, I guess we're in that same boat with Cena, huh? I was going to say at the time, Hogan, you know, the kids that were saying their prayers and eating their vitamins when Hogan was running wild in the 80s and early 90s grew up to be preteens and teens by the time Hogan was in the NWO, and they were done with the whole say your prayers, eat your vitamins, babyface shtick. They wanted a little bit of edge. I was going to say that. Well, Cena's fans have aged up too by now. A lot of those little kids. Look, R-Truth is a fucking full-grown man now, professionally wrestling at the highest level in the WWE. He's made, you know, a full career of himself since growing up watching John Cena. So there's inevitably people out there that, you know, grew up watching Cena that are at an age now where they would love to see a heel turn. Maybe it's just too late, though. At this point, just kind of, you know, dust off the old red, purple, green, whatever the fuck, orange shirt you're wearing that day. Go to work, man. Go do work. And, you know, people love you and respect you now. So now that you're on like your legend tour, you know, you're doing your veteran rounds, your legacy rounds, I think people want to see that John Cena. You know, if he was there every day in his prime when it was getting old and people were sick of it, that's when you turn him heel. Now that people love to see him and get excited to see him, I don't know that there's any reason to do that unless they turn on him like they did on The Rock. But that's just my 2 cents. But this was a great little interview. Chris Van Vliet's a great interviewer, especially for these kind of interviews. He's not like a big dirt getter, or he doesn't ask the tough questions necessarily, though he did with Velveteen Dream. That was like the one interview I saw him do where he asked tough questions. But usually it's very Hollywood style softball, sit down, just fucking conversationalist, but it's always good. And Cena was very insightful and giving of his time. There was a moment in the interview where Cena got a time cue from his agent or from the movie people or whatever the fuck. And Cena's just like, no, we're giving this guy a pass. He can keep going, you know, because it's Chris Van Vliet. Motherfucking Chris Van Vliet. But that's just my thoughts on the whole thing. What are your thoughts on Cena turning heel or having a 17th championship run? I would love to know if you think that it would be worth doing that with Cena at this point, either one of them, or if it's best to just kind of leave well enough alone and enjoy Cena on his last little, you know, take a bow encore run, if you will. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Peace, love, and pizza. I am your boy, Seth Grimes, and we'll catch you in the next video. Toot-toot-toot-toot. Toot-toot-toot-toot.
Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.